We are rounding the bases and we are stopping in Seattle. And Robert says, "Hey, Mariners, come on in. We're just letting you in."
This was after Friday.
Funny, Robert.
This was Friday after I think that the Rangers and Astros both blew games. I think I had that right, but it was definitely after the Astros.
You got a lot of free time, don't you?
I do.
Sole possession of first place in the AL West for the first time all year, and MLB best 36-14 since the start of July. Are you buying what they're selling?
I'm totally buying. They are built to win the entire thing, and I want to give love. I mean, Jerry DiPoto made some savvy moves. Seawald deal has worked. Canzone, Rojas have been good. Cal Raleigh. Can we give some love to Cal Raleigh? Guy hits nothing but tanks and controls one of the best pitching staffs in the game, and J.P. Crawford gets on base every time up. So they are built, they have a nice chemistry, a nice flow of what they're about. Yeah, even if they don't win the division, they are a scary out in the postseason.
So they hadn't made the playoffs from 2001 to last year. It was the longest in the 4 North American sports. I think they're about to make it for a second year in a row. Can I make an argument they're about to make it a lot of years in a row?
Yeah.
Everyone's going to look for starting pitching this offseason. You know who's not going to look for starting pitching?
Them.
A team that has Luis Castillo, who will pitch at 31 next year, signed through 2027. Gilbert, who's first year arbitration eligible, 27. Kirby, 26. Miller, 25. Root, 24. Hancock, 25. By the way, did everyone forget? Robbie Ray's coming back next year.
I forgot. Swear.
This is a team, go look at...
And they got Castillo to sign a pretty team-friendly deal.
Terrific deal, considering his talent, which gives them money to go find another position player in the market.
They're a problem.
Go look at how many starting pitchers the teams you think are going to be contenders need next year. I'm starting with one that has 7, if you include Ray.
5 years, $108 million Castillo signed for the Mariners. That's definitely a good value. Absolutely good value. Let's talk about more pitching, but this on the downside. The Baltimore Orioles revealing over the weekend that Felix Bautista is going to be out for the foreseeable future, and there's no return, no timetable for his return. They're calling it a UCL injury. And it happened on his bobblehead weekend. I mean, we got a shot of, they were showing, paying tribute to him and showing how much they support him with having his bobblehead right there in the bullpen, standing by. But obviously they wish they had the real thing, D-Row. What does it mean? How do they cover this? How do they cover this? You've got Yennier Cano, who is nasty in his own right, but how do they cover it?
DL Hall, top prospect, lefty, big velocity. He came up and looked awesome. I know Tyler Wells has been in Norfolk. This is big-time stuff from the left side now. He's been a top prospect, which seems like for 10 years I've heard his name. They have Tyler Wells down in trying to control his innings. He might be a high-leverage guy for them. They'll figure it out, but this is huge. I wouldn't put it on the Edwin Diaz kind of. I read your article, and I agree with you. That Edwin Diaz, you didn't realize it at the time. It completely tanked the Mets season. But, this is... How do they cover it? He's locked in besides the Kyle Tucker.
Because besides Diaz, like Diaz, this is part of their identity. Hey, if we lead after 7 innings, we got Cano and Bautista. And D-Row, you played. You know what this feels like. The other team feels like it's got to be ahead after 21 outs. It gives confidence. It's what, at the point I was trying to make on the Diaz column, is it gives confidence to the whole team. Hey, we have a style of play.
Game's over.
And you think about the connectiveness. Because they saw this guy last year, Baltimore, and they were like, we got something. They traded Jorge Lopez. They got Cano.
That's right.
So they do have a safety blanket. To your point, maybe Hall and Wells use their big arms that were starters to do it. But they are losing a piece of how they play the game.
But it's hard to replace a guy that had a strikeout rate of 46%.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
I mean, it's almost striking out 1 out of every.
If they can figure it out, there's still a lot of talent. They're a great story. Hopefully they can keep it going.
He gave everything on that pitch, such a massive part of that team. An unfortunate couple days in Baltimore, but a big moment in time in Detroit over the weekend. Did you see this?
Yeah.
Tip of the cap. Incredible moment. 2 of the greats of our sport, Miguel and JV. 39 years of Hall of Fame greatness between the two.
The best pitcher, I'm telling you, I think the best right-handed pitcher of my generation. Getting in the box against Justin Verlander, he was a massive, massive problem. So, MVP and the accolades, and then you can make the argument him and Miggy and Albert were the 2 best hitters of my generation. Maybe throw Manny in there, but this is as good as it gets. So for those 2 guys to lock horns, the respect factor there, what they meant to Detroit, Yeah, special.
Really nice. All right, let's talk about what happened over the weekend in St. Petersburg between the Rays and the Yankees. Two teams that right now are going in different directions. The Rays were hit quite a bit during the course of this series. Randy Arozarena got plunked twice yesterday. Benches cleared a couple of times. Brandon Lau had this to say about what went down over the weekend and on yesterday, and listen to his comments specifically about the Yankees.
Obviously, tempers flare. The history that we do have with the Yankees, everything that's kind of come through, obviously probably does play a part in it, but looking at it, it's a last place team against a team that's in contention. You know, there's trying to ignite something over there, whatever. Not worth our time at this moment. You know, we're focused on bigger things right now than worrying about a little on-field scuffle. You know, we need each game. They're not really in each game.
Ooh, shots fired, Joel.
I love everything Brandon Lau said, but I just looked at Joel. If I'm the Yankees, when that team shows up to spring training first day, that quote's on the board.
If I'm the Yankees,
a last place team playing a team that's in contention.
Well, if I'm the Yankees, I start thinking about why the team in the city where I have spring training outplays us every year on a shoestring budget. The depth of the roster is better, etc. They always get under the Yankee skins. This was not a yesterday situation.
You're right.
It's a David and Goliath thing. The Rays feed on it.
Yeah.
The Yankees have forever been Goliaths. They need to get some David in them.
I think for me, it all goes back to, I mean, listen, there's history here. Do I think the Yankees and Abreu was hitting Arozarena on purpose? No, I do not.
I agree.
That.
Yeah,
and you could see Booney kind of telling it.
Yeah.
But you can only take so much, right? But man, it does all stem. There's previous incidents here. Can we throw to one of my favorite moments in big? I mean, you almost steal someone's life right there. You could have killed them.
Brasso.
Right? And what happens? Got him!
Gosh, there's no better moment.
In the postseason.
playoff.
I mean, I would have done way more than Brasso. I mean, all of it. So that was one of the coolest moments I ever seen in the big leagues. But there's a massive...
David versus Goliath there.
There's a massive history.
It's been the story these last few years. Tampa Bay is better than them.
Remember Kevin Cash said we got a bunch of stable...
We got a whole
I got a
darn
stable full of guys that throw
can
98.
throw 100 plus.
Booney's reeling, man. It's been a grinder.
All right.
That was in an empty stadium.
Do those
that
two teams
Brasso.
play?
It's always a grinder when Brandon Lau points out you're a last place
I'm not
team.
kidding you. Like, you look back at that Chapman, he should have been, like, taken off the field. You almost killed him.
Do those two teams play each other again?
No, they're done now.
Okay, so we'll have to wait till next season for the next chapter.